Hello guys, and welcome to this project breakdown from Project Penelope. And this will just be a little project breakdown, some insights, and how we'll deal with this project. I'm currently going just through the Behance page, so the link will be down in the description. Here's just some still frames and a video at the beginning. You can view that, of course, on Behance. Then some close-ups of the lines going around the face. Then some stills, some style frames from just the lines without a face. Then here a little just process video, process rendering in a 1:3:1 aspect ratio, and then after that some further R&D. So here with different materials, some blooming flowers, some close-ups, wide angle shots, and here's just some shots of the head that I generated with the lines and then further processed it, and in the end a little text. And a big shout out to Sebastian Smink for the audio and for the audio work. And that's the project on Behance, so you can view it on Behance. The link will be down in the description. So for that I want to just give you a little bit of insights and how I started, how I processed, and so I will just blend out the hair here because it's pretty performance consuming, but you will see that's the head. And my first idea was like, let's just do some lines connecting to the head. But then I started to further process it. So first of all I will show you just the bounding box geometry. So for example, if you got a pretty complex geometry, it's pretty hard to use that like for collision geometry or for array geometry, and I just did that. So here is the main head, and after that I placed a sphere, scaled it up a little bit, and in a loop I will make a ray, and I will ray back the sphere, and I will remesh it, and this is in a loop, so it will do it 10 times, and you will get a pretty good collision geometry, and you can smooth it out later, for example. So that's the first little idea I've got. Why don't make just a simple collision geometry and then further process it. Okay, so down to the lines. I also did a tutorial on the lines on my Patreon, so you can check that out. So after that I just get in here the collision geometry, or the predefined collision geometry that I defined with the ray and with the RDB remeshing. After that, the subdivide to get really a good kind of collision geometry. Then a simple pop net, so that's just basically particles going upwards, and some loops, raying the initial points back to the collision geometry. So for example, it was like the idea behind it was like, I will trap the face inside these lines, and here's just a simple not error, but a way to improve it. For example, you can throw that into a compiled block, and I didn't do that, but you can throw it into a compiled block. So after that I go through different loops and then just animate the whole thing. Let me just get it right here. So I will cut the lines, so the initial lines I will cut through loops to different lengths, and make a yeah, like a global scale multiplier, and then I can scale the lines and you will get this random imperfection. And then I can export the lines to the rendering. So this is now like the lines combined with the face, and that's basically it for the first shot. So I will show you them, not that, let me just get that here. And these are just the first basic shot. So I try to get a really wide aspect ratio here, so that's like 4:1, and just the eyes on the focus, and then get a really harsh depth of field to blur out the lines to get like a serial look, or to make it more focused on the eyes. So let's discuss another shot. So that was like a tilting shot, so you can always try to find another kind of perspective in your shot. So yeah, try to do maybe a tilt shot, and a tilt shot maybe combined with a wider focal length. So this is like the main shot of the project, really close up, like 85 millimeters, and again a pretty harsh depth of field with like the focus on the eye. And with this kind of strong depth of field, I think you will get another kind of layer on top of it. Then like this wider aspect ratio for smartphone shot, but I just think it looks cool because of the lips and the overall perspective. And then of course some really close-ups from the lines. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you can really see there is a lot of depth of field in here, because you get this almost this twisted like feeling to it, but it's just a depth of field that's so tiny. But I think that adds to the shot. So this is just R&D here. I will show you that of course too. Let's get an R&D shot. For the lighting I used basically one HDR light, and with that one HDR light I get like a pretty good overall light, and then I get some manual lights in there to further process it to get like, let me just show you that, get like in the eyes the little shiny light here, to get it a little bit more better. Or the whole frame was shifted to the left, so the left was a little bit brighter than the right side, and I added like a light to the right side to enhance it a little bit. So yeah, currently the poly reduce is working on its thing. So let's just wait for that, and I will show you a frame. The first kind of frame. So the first kind of frame I did was like that, because I wanted to do something with the lines, and then I experimented a little bit, because I want not to destroy the lines. I wanted to represent them in another kind of feeling or another kind of way. And then I experienced with some stuff here. So that's basically the tree. It's not that big, but it's fine. So let me just get a shot here, or the geometry. So this is basically the lines and a time shift. So with the time shift you can just basically shift the time of your timeline. And the cool thing is you can like freeze a frame. You can also freeze a frame with lock, but with the lock it will get baked in your Houdini file, and if you got like a pretty massive file, like many polygons or many points, it can get quite heavy. So just use a time shift. Let me just show you that. so the time shift here, and then you will delete the channel and you can just type the frame in you want to freeze. So that's some resampling here, and then a VDB from particles, and that's, let me just volume, where's it, volume visualization, there it is. Just make it much stronger here. Yeah, you can see I then converted it from the lines basically to a VDB from particles, but not into a surface VDB. I converted it back to a fog VDB, and then I just scattered some particles in there, and I did the basic connect adjacent pieces and attribute blur on the position and the resample to just get a little bit more intricate details later on. And I did the same thing here, so VDB from particles, but now I did a distance VDB, and I combined them both and then moved them 2 times. So first VDB smooth, SDF, and then normal smooth, and the filter quality on 1, so you get like a pretty hard smoothing result. Yeah, and then you get something like that. And the idea behind that was to just experiment with the with a new kind of maybe form or a new kind of maybe feeling that can result out of the initial lines. So then I just poly reduced it, and now we are on the group blast, on the head blast. So I think that's a pretty cool thing to do. It's a little tip and trick maybe. So you can keep it by normals, and then you enable the back face. And with the back face you can just place down another geometry, for example the sphere here, and you will only select the back face normal that will result out of that sphere. And when you blast that away, you will just get like the front facing elements, and that's pretty helpful. So what you basically do in this kind of scenario, let me get a grid and the extrude. When you got like that geometry and that one, and you don't got initial groups, you can just, with this kind of little setup, you can just say I don't want them and I don't want them, so I just want the front facing elements, and what's not in that group, then I just blasted that away. So I placed down some noise and I called it scatter. Let me dive inside here. So the scatter here, just a noise, fit it, and to give it a little bit of a randomized scatter feeling, and I scattered a few points. Randomizing p-scale, and I copied some flowers onto that. And when we have a look on that, you will see the resulting geometry. And the resulting frame out of that was D3. So I shaded the head like in a glass refractive material to give it like, I think when you give it like glass, you will get this like fragile look and feeling, and then the flowers on top of it. So I think that's, it turns out pretty well, especially with the bokeh balls in the background and with the reflections and refractions. So then another kind of shot, it was like a close-up of one flower, and I just focused on here, so on the leaves and from the flower and on the stamen. And I think it's another pretty good close-up shot to get like now we will dive further into the head, or further into the whole process, and then you got like this close up here. And the last one was like just a wide shot from the back of the head with this flower in focus to give it just like another R&D shot. And after that I just removed the flowers and I just did some process back on the head. So these are just these frames, so like that to the side, or like a mirrored frame, and just two close-ups after a new revolving or newly generated structures out of the initial lines. And here are some more lines close-ups, so really close up and then this really hard depth of field, so like a aperture of 0.95, and here again. But that is with the full growth, so then I'll let the lines grow farther and farther or longer, and it will result like in that kind of frame, which looks pretty cool too. And when you merge then the face in it, you will get something like that, of course. For the materials, they're pretty basic. So like the head organic, I tried out several materials. The flower is like a procedural shading with ramps, so when you have a closer look on a flower, you can see the different kind of colors or shades in there. So just try to include some minor little details, and I think that will enhance it. And yeah, that's just a quick breakdown. Maybe I will do a longer breakdown in the future, but I hope you liked it. And yeah, the link will be down in the description. You can share it, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment, like, and yeah, I will see you in the next kind of tutorial, in the next kind of course, on my Patreon. Drop me a line on Instagram or Twitter, and take care. Bye.